Hello and welcome back. Alright, in this video we're going to go ahead and get our project set up. As you can see here, I'm using Xcode. If you're using Visual Studio or any other IDE, you should be able to follow along. I'll be writing standard C++ code, so everything should just work across all the platforms. So let's go ahead and create a new project. I'm going to be creating a command line tool in Xcode or in Visual Studio. You want to make a console application, same thing. And then we'll want to make sure that down here on the type that we're creating a new C++ application. So I'll go ahead and click choose, and it'll ask me where I want to save. I will go ahead and just create it in my documents folder. That is fine. And I will call the project files. And then I'll come down here and click save. Alright, and that will bring up this little window that popped up off screen for some reason. And this is just the standard Xcode window. I'm going to go ahead and click up here to maximize it. And then I'm going to hit Shift Command E to maximize the editor. So now that everything's kind of basically set up there, I'm going to go ahead and create my data files first. So before we get into any code, I'm going to go ahead and create the data that we want to work with. And so in order to do that, I want to store them in my project. So I'm going to click on the Files node, click Add New Group. That way I can just keep my data in a separate location as my source files. And I'm actually going to store them in a different place on the directory. So I hit Command I to bring up this window. And I can click over here and click Choose. And if I create a new folder down here called Data, and then hit Enter for Create, I can actually store my data separately from my code. That you can see my main CPP down here. This way I can put all my data right in there. Right, and you'll see that it fills in the name. I want it capitalized, and then we're good. Alright, so you can see right here, click Add, New File, go to Other, and we will choose Empty File. And Next, and we will name this presidents.1.csv. So remember in the intro video we're going to be creating two different types of CSV files, so this just lets me figure out which one this one is. And we'll finish that. And so let's go ahead and type in our data. So we're going to enter in 5 presidents. The first one is George Washington. And then we'll do John Adams 2, Thomas Jefferson 3, James Madison is 4, and James Monroe is 5. And we'll save this file. We'll select everything, copy it, and we'll go ahead and create a new file. Another empty file. Just go ahead and hit Next. And we'll name this one presidents.2.csv. And then we'll paste in our presidents from before. And so if you remember from our intro video, this file is going to have comments in it and it's going to have empty lines. So we're going to use the pound symbol to designate a line comment. So that's Shift 3. And this, let's say this is a cool comment. Exciting. And then we'll hit a few empty lines throughout there. And then we'll go ahead and save that. So the next thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to set this up so that when I build my project, my data files actually go into the output directory. So in order to do that in Xcode, I come over to the Targets node, and I click on Files to expand that. And I'll actually right-click on Files, and click Add, New Build Phase, and New Copy Build Phase. So this dialog basically has some information about where I want to put it. So I'm going to go up to the destinations drop down, oops, and click executables. And I'm going to have my data get copied into a folder called data. We'll close that. And then all I do is select my president's files, drag them down into the new copied files group or phase that it added. And if I were to build my project now, so Command B, we'll see everything down here is build succeeded. Come up to the Files node, right click, Refill in Finder, open up the files, open up Build, open up Debug. You can see we have a nice little data folder here, and inside there are our two CSV files. So with that, we are now set up to actually do our main code. And that will wrap up this video.